action. Welcome back to Consciously Here. I am your host, Victoria Hart, and the founder of It Is a Heart World. We're up to episode 4, and I'm really excited because I'm going to start adding the video in for emphasis on what I'm talking about, and so you can see from hand signaling parts of the body as well. It really help. I just want to start this off by quoting something here. This is going to be the leading of this podcast, okay, about riding waves into stillness. Thoughts are just thoughts and can be changed. Thoughts are just thoughts and can be changed. Riding the waves into stillness. It's a program I created, which I'm really grateful for. And it's also a Tuesday afternoon Zoom call with strangers where I counsel them all, and then met with like-minded people or like for like frequencies. So riding the wave into stillness came from, I actually had a nap, a really long nap one afternoon, and I just literally woke up in the presence of love. Like I was literally just experiencing so much love through my body, and I was sitting out enjoying the sunset in the afternoon on the balcony, and I kept having this like word pop into my head, which I'd never actually, it was never in my awareness before, put it that way. It was omnipotent. And it was like I kept thinking ni, and then potent, and that's kind of how it was like coming into like my awareness. And then I was like, oh, an omnipotent. And then I literally wrote omnipotent into Google, and then I listened to what it actually said, and I was like, oh, to have infinite power and influence. I was like, something's happening, and I'm going to be really present for this. And yeah, I sat there riding the wave into stillness, and it's had alterations from there because it was meant to be what it was meant to be for me. And the whole point of me creating it into sharing it was because I have not entirely lived out the same experience as other people, but I've also experienced the emotions that most people have experienced being human, right? So it made sense to translate it into it being relatable for absolutely everyone to become their most omnipotent self, which is you riding the waves into stillness and giving you the tools and modalities and support and guidance and to be able to actually ride those waves. So what I see the wave is it's an overall frequency which is made up of your thoughts, feelings, emotion, vibration that translates into a frequency that you transmit through electromagnetic field that's picked up by other living organisms, sentient beings. So it's essentially how you show up. How you show up in life. It's a reflection of your friends, your family, conversations you have, your interactions with the world is your core frequency. So if you are struggling to understand how you're actually perceived in life, describe the closest people and the people that you spend most of your time with, and you'll describe yourself back to yourself through them. Do not judge yourself. I don't recommend judging yourself through others, but you can perceive yourself actually through others by describing them. Because if it wasn't in your awareness, it's not part of you. If it's in your awareness, it's a part of you. So sometimes people will find it a lot easier to blame things outside of them, external factors or people's energies outside of them to affect how they actually feel external. But essentially, they're only highlighting through their own frequency what you already have, right? What you already have within you. And they are a part of your healing journey. And as you move through whatever that frequency is, whatever that thing is that's been either triggered or in your awareness, it will move out the moment that you take that leap over that thing and remove that blockage. But that is about you riding that wave. Once you're on top of the wave and you're riding it, you're able to become the observer of the scenery of the entire thoughts, feelings, emotion, and vibration, the whole frequency itself, and incorporate that into who you are, integrate that into you, and have more control over it. And most of the time, it's when you're in this place, when you're on the wave, you're identifying a belief system, a subconscious program, or an unconscious program that you may or may not have even been aware of that is now brought to your frontal lobes, and you're articulating and analyzing it and experiencing it from a whole different experience. Whole different perspective, which then gets reintegrated into the subconscious mind. So that's how your brain actually rewires. That's kind of the best way to describe it, and why the analogy of riding the wave um, is expressing itself in as the modality. Um, but yeah, so I just really wanted to kind of talk to that more about the frequencies, because I have recently rode a really intense wave, and this wave included 20 years of my life. And once I got on top of the wave, after it pummeled me to the point where everything was surfacing, and I was under the wave though. I was really under it. My body got sick. My immunity dropped off so quickly, because the thoughts, the feelings, the emotion, the overall vibration and frequency of that operating system was low and dense. It was very low and dense, and it was only true in its nature by expressing itself in a low and dense way. So I had to, really push myself to actually continue my own practices and doing what I needed to do to get myself out of it. So detox my body, got myself back into a high vibe. I had to pillow talk the fuck out of myself as well to elevate me back up, so I could actually start riding the wave again. As soon as I got on top of the wave, I saw it and observed it and brought it into my frontal lobes and was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That affected me for 20 years. And it actually was one of the most self-sabotaging, like not traits, qualities in my life that create programs that created self-sabotaging traits and qualities in myself that showed up in all my relationships, all of them. So it was really fucking amazing to be able to have already had these tools to be able to ride this one. And since being able to integrate that part of myself, I realized that it wasn't coming from being an adult, being a nasty person either. This came from childhood, right? We're going back to I was 7. And so I was integrating and doing doing some inner child work as well as shadow work, which led me to part of myself that was deeply suppressed and depressed from a very young age, and kind of how I navigated the world and built these walls up. So it's really cool to be able to have that breakthrough myself and to be able to talk about it, and also know that the tools that I guide people through and work, I do also work on myself too. Again, I had many other waves, but this was like the build up of all those little waves I was riding to then have, they built up and the waves got bigger because I've become stronger, more intelligent, more comfortable, more confident in expressing myself, that by the time that wave came, I was literally equipped with the tools that I needed in order to ride it into stillness, to be here recording the podcast, not groveling in my room and crying every day, which is also part of healing. That's your body's way of releasing and telling you that it needs attention, right? So yeah, how you are feeling, it's a wave that is waiting to be ridden by you, not to consume you. It's only consuming you because you're not on the wave. You're not trying to understand the wave. You're not giving it the intention through love, kindness, and empathy for yourself. Those are really important things here, is to be kind, be loving, and be empathetic. And empathetic, I have swapped out from being compassionate, because compassionate means to co-suffer. I don't want to co-suffer with others. I want to be empathetic. I want to be able to encourage others as well as encourage myself out of the holes as well. That's what we all need to be for each other and for ourselves. Be kind, be loving, be empathetic. So just through that experience, I was just like, oh, okay, I really need to emphasize the program. I need to emphasize it. I want to talk more to it, and why, some of our greatest minds literally talk about this. Some of the greatest minds we have had, I should say, may they continue to guide us. Albert Einstein said, I just completely went blank. Give me the thought back. You cannot do the same thing over and over again expecting different results, because that's insanity. It's insanity. And also, you cannot solve a problem by the same level of consciousness that created it. And Nikola Tesla also said, if you want to think, you want to understand about the universe, secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And honestly, when you think about energy, it's feeding the body, it powers everything, it's flowing through you. Energy, the vibration, we've all felt the elephant in the room, or we all know what kind of vibe checking people or vibe checking yourself is, which equals your frequency. It's pretty amazing. That's it, kind of simplified anyway. Um, this is kind of the lead up point to this, okay? In order for us to heal, though, we need to be in a place of homeostasis. Now, this is where I love describing it because it's true. Humans literally only have two states of being. It's like a switch in the brain, which is your amygdala. When it's clicked backwards, it's in the sympathetic nervous system, which is your state of survival. That's your pharmacy that's operating through your body is mostly stress hormones. You're in a state of survival. And then you have it when it clicks forward, the parasympathetic of your nervous system, which is homeostasis. This is telling your body that it's safe to go into restoration and restore. And your pharmacy will look like a healthy abundance in your neurotransmitters and upregulation of your cell function, a healthy body. So we literally have only two states of being. Either you're in fast, chaotic, or slow flow, slow flow, chaotic, fast. That's it. And you may not think that you are chaotic fast, but if you're rushing towards absolutely anything, if you're rushing to get to work, you're in sympathetic. You're rushing to get a partner, sympathetic. You're rushing to get that new job, sympathetic. You're rushing to buy new things, sympathetic. You're rushing anything that you are rushing in life. If you're rushing sex, okay, sympathetic. If you're rushing to have a shower, have a coffee in the morning, or to go to the toilet, you're in the sympathetic. You're in a state of survival. You're just allowing yourself to survive. You're just allowing yourself to survive. When you come into the state of homeostasis and you're parasympathetic, you're living, you're in restoration, your body is healing. Your physical body is the most powerful, most omnipotent machine. Again, it is made up of over 50 trillion plus cells that have their own mucoskeletal system, immune system, nervous system, respiratory system, if I haven't already said that one, um, heart and equivalent to a brain, and consciousness. It's listening to you. It's a whole civilization of you that makes up your entire physical is listening to you. I think, therefore I am. So be very mindful of yourself and what you are feeding yourself. Be kind, be loving, be empathetic. Anything else, it's going to have you stuck in sympathetic, in survival. And this is the reason why, as a collective, our our lineages are ancestral lineages are dying out, and then we knowledge as well, but also the fact that our races like average lifespan now is between 75 and 85. It's not a very long time. Why is that happening? Because we're rushing life. We're rushing life. That even comes into play with the consumerism, okay? We've been filtered into buying constantly and consume. You know, all the new phones, all the new devices that are coming out, they're literally so good. They're good, right? But we should only be purchasing things if our other devices have quite literally died out or are not of service to us anymore. We need to learn how to be a lot more grateful for things because things will last a lot longer. And this is where it comes into play that our expression of ourself is being mirrored back to us externally through that aspect of consumerism, that we're rushing, we're not being grateful for the things that we have, and things are speeding up. That is why the lifespan is speeding up for us, is because we're not being grateful for it and taking care of the machine and not oiling, I shouldn't say that. That's a bad thing to say. Don't consume oils unless it's olive oil. um, but to keep your body's maintenance up, by taking care of it so it continues to expand its lifespan and experience, and it may it be a very good one and not have to the point where we're in our 50s and early 60s where we're like dropping off. We want to keep expanding up to have a longer lifespan. So that literally comes by us individually taking care of ourselves, coming into a place of restoration and homeostasis, slowing right down, slowing down, stop rushing everything. Now, how you can do that. What are some tools? I talk about it all the time, and this is for everyone. Everyone is capable of yoga. Get yourself on the mat. Okay, get yourself on the mat because that is literally a full body workout. A full body workout. Get yourself on the mat. You're so capable of it. It's amazing. It's literally meditation itself. That leads me to the next one, meditation, slowing the mind down. So this is actually something that you're already so well good at. Everyone is actually really great at meditation, really good at meditation, really good at manifestation as well, because I think, therefore I am. So the more that you think about something, the more that your body's feeling that experience, even though it may not even be happening visually or physically, but your body's still experiencing it. So all you need to do is flip it around, fantasize, and think about all the great things that you actually want to happen, and then allow your body to start feeling what it would feel like for that to actually happen. And then you'll start to attract those things into your life. You'll start to attract those things into your life. You're an expert meditator. We all are. Now, this is something to bring it to your awareness as well. Why meditation is really important. And for some, they say, I can't, I don't have time. I'm going to call you out here. That's absolute fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. You'll have time to do it and you owe it to yourself. You are worthy of that time. 5 minutes a day, at least 5 minutes a day. But you also can increase that into being minimum of 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes. So, with that being said, you're an expert meditator, and I'm really grateful for everyone because this is all part of a collective meditation too. We're all contributing to the world that we perceive. So if you want to see the world change, there's your perspective of it based on your frequency, okay, and what's coming towards you. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. Otherwise, you won't get to see it the way that others actually see it, in a state of bliss and in love. When I first started meditating, I had so many thoughts all at once. Because I finally kind of took the time. I took the time to be present with the thoughts, and I literally struggled. Really struggled in the beginning, and then I realized, I'm like, why do I have so many thoughts? Like, I don't even know if these thoughts are actually mine. And then over time, the quieter it got quite quickly because I was really determined on zoning, like learning how to tune myself, okay? But because I was operating at the same level with the collective, I was experiencing all of that chaoticness through my body, which is, it's a machine. It's experiencing everything all at once. It's interconnected with absolutely everything. And then the quieter it got, I could actually pinpoint where thoughts were actually coming from specific people that I was connected with, etc., and so on and so forth. And then I was able to learn how to tune my body and its frequencies by quietening my mind. I hope this makes sense. So the more busy your mind is, the same frequency, it's because you're operating at the same frequency as others. It will be very loud, it's very turbulent because you're sharing that core frequency with many others. But as you go up, it gets quieter because there's less people actually experiencing the state of bliss. So it should be all of our mission to come into that place of the state of bliss individually, and it becomes a lot quieter. You come into flow state. You like for like attracts, and this is why on the healing journey it becomes really lonely for a period because you may not be close to the tribe that's operating at that frequency. And then you kind of then realize, well, I know that there are people because now I'm tuned and I'm connecting with this person through social media who lives halfway around the world, who's going through similar things. And, we're never alone. We may think it or feel it because what's closest to us may not be resonating with us, okay? But it's important. And to key into that, that the quieter your mind gets, the higher your frequency actually becomes. It actually becomes. The quieter your body is, the higher your frequency becomes. And you are able to tune yourself into the things that you want to experience through flipping you as already an expert meditator into the positive stuff. That is where the big shifts happen. It's powerful and it's omnipotent. And you are already omnipotent. You're already doing everything. You just got to switch, flip the switch. I was trying to be corny. Flip the switch. Um, yeah. So you are so capable of this. You're worthy of it. You are absolutely delicious and amazing. And you got it. You've got it. I hope you all enjoyed this. I absolutely love you all, and I'm really fucking grateful to have this platform and to be sharing my most omnipotent self with you all.